Hello, world. Quite frankly, I tend to not know how powerful the words that I speak are. And it's odd because I'm a writer. And somehow I've yet to grasp what the depth and the power in words. So I have this poem entitled I Want to Write. And like I posted it a little while ago on Facebook, and a lot of people really liked it. And I kind of didn't know that it had that kind of appeal, that it had the ability that it had to move people. So I actually feel a need to record it on YouTube so that more people can hear it. Um, so here is I want to write. I want to write about women who, like paper dolls, haven't learned the meaning of self respect and lie still as the weak cut between their legs, tearing in a part of their entity that made them distinct. But those too selfish to disconnect their women, so they hold hands while he rides the train. Too many women and not enough men, so they won't speak against it. Plus, a man has his needs because he likes her personality, but her conversation, her depth, yet her substance, the way she don't mind smoking weed and how she'll go clubbing until 5 a.m. and let him hit it in the gleam of disco lights. See, I'll pen how she is to get drunk, to strip and turn tricks for men who correlate beauty and entertainment with low self-esteem and vulnerability. I'm writing for the girl who thought a 13-inch waist cinched by whalebones and ivory corsets was elegance. I'll tell her I understand where you're coming from, so then I'll write a poem attacking the media for slaying and decaying any complete sense of self-assurance or worth any of us have. I want to write that the broken don't live in Iraq. And freedom is the most indecisive thing yet. I want to write for the little girl in airplane speckled pajamas with little mice on the insides who's had sex and sexuality contrived by an uncle who hijacked her innocence with a jack up of her small body on his lap during a boxing match, and his ruthless hands, snatching her 7 years too soon, as he has groomed her for 7 years old, ever since she was 7 years old. Now in college, the memory still stings like fourth degree burns. She can still feel his hands ravage her private parts, and that's where it starts. The reason why so many kids are stuck with therapists and a memory that doesn't dull, and a hate for destiny that sabotages any chance of it being in their hands at all. While I can't stand the thought of another man fleeing the states to his native Trinidad with my trust on his tongue and my naivety in his lungs, my hugs rushing blood to his penis for his fun, and his idea that he's gotten away with it because he's apologized with the devil as his ally, and how she, an insomniac, watches me when I sleep because I look so at peace, and she can't help but envy with big brown eyes that can't shut themselves even if they were wired, even if she were 3 days tired, anxious to figure out how to pay for college, adopted and lost, broken and abandoned but loved, and how I see weight in her eyes being lifted by stuffed gray teddy bears with round frame glasses and tweed vests, and the way her voice changes from 17 to 6 in a matter of seconds. I want to write for you, who sits staring at herself in the mirror of a Ford Taurus, convinced you're too black to be any different, convinced you can't trump the stereotypes, convinced the only way to live is white. I will write that they are wrong, that you are much more than knowledge robbed from your ancestors and beach sands that cannot be counted. More than being told to sit in the back of the bus and keep your mouth shut, so don't dumb yourself down. And though tempting, don't count the ratio of white to brown. And I've got a scribe. The pure evil of forcing a mother to perform oral sex on her son in the bathtub of her own home at gunpoint is the very string that unravels our quilts, where no one will take the blame, but we will all feel the guilt of an inhumane humanity lying in its own filth but rolling in the dough. So much that we will cover up the news and blame the negativity on journalists who just report the truth, like Megan Williams. This one's for you, because even I don't get how mankind is turned against him own self, licks his own blood, has rat and dog feces on his own breath, cutting and stabbing his own flesh, thinking he is only destroying someone else, but every choice we make is a choice for history. Every story we told is a bit of your story. Every character whose name is changed has all of our traits, and the only way to stop is to change what we have to write.